Well, we're back on the old Warco WM180 lathe, and one of the problems I've had with it, ever since I've had it really, is how to accurately set the angle of the top slide. There is a protractor on the other side, and I will swap the camera around so you can see it. Okay, we're looking at the other side now, so you can see the protractor, but it's quite difficult. Let's close in on that a bit. It's quite difficult to actually accurately set the angle. Well, I think it is anyway, and I've come up with a way of doing it which I've been using recently, and I'm going to show you that method first. So, for quite a while, I've been using this little cobbled up affair here, which is, as you can see quite clearly, it's a protractor on a square, and I've just got a couple of magnets, flat little magnets on the back holding the two together. And basically what we do is we want to set the angle. I've set the angle on the protractor to 10 degrees, which is what I want on the top slide, and we basically put that on here like this, put it up against the cross slide. Whoops, that does happen occasionally. The magnets like the lathe more than they like the square and the protractor. But yeah, you basically put that on here like this. Set the top slide to what you want it, roughly what angle you want, and then you basically bring the you have to slide this out a little bit. Bring this in. Make sure it's against the cross slide, and then line it up with the protractor arm, and there you go. You've got a pretty good angle. You can pretty accurately say that that is now set at 10 degrees. That's okay, but it's fiddly to use, as you can see. So I'm scratching my head trying to come up with a better way of doing this, setting this angle, and I was browsing around online, and I come across these things. Now, these have been around for ages, digital protractors, and I thought, well, maybe I could use this instead of my cobbled up affair with the protractor and the square to do the same job. Now there's loads and different makes of these and different types. Some have plastic blades, but I picked this one because it's got nice thick steel blades on it, so it'll mate up against the cross slide really nicely. I got this from Amazon. This was £16.45p, so not expensive at all, you know. Anyway, so how do we go about using this to set the cross slide angle? Well, the first thing we've got to do is set this up. So we're going to set a 0, and I'm going to use the square for that. So basically set this at 90 degrees and then 0 out. And that'll be our 0 point. That'll be our starting point. Let's get this right. There we go. Right, so that's now set to 0, and I'm going to set this to the angle that we want, which is 10 degrees. Oh, it's upside down. Let's put it up the right way so you can actually read it. A little bit over. A bit fiddly setting this. I've got it screwed down too tight, really. Right, 10 degrees. So we've got our angle set. Now I'm going to switch the camera around to the other side so you can see what you can see it better if I switch it around to the other side. Okay, so I switched the camera back round to the rear of the lathe view, and there you can see the top slide, and here's the protractor, and simply place it up against the cross slide, bring it up to the top slide and swivel the top slide until we get it lined up perfectly, which it is. There. So there you go. It's actually now on 10.1 degrees, but you get the idea. We can then lock the 2 screws on the top slide and the angle's set, and it's a lot easier than faffing around with my retractor and square. So yeah, I think that it's a very simple way of setting the top slide angle on the Warco WM180 lathe, and accurately setting it as well. So there you go. All you need is one of those. Digital protractor. As I said, I paid $16.45 for this off of Amazon, but I'm sure you can get them a lot cheaper off of places like Banggood. Anyway, quick tip on setting the top slide angle on the Warco WM180. Hope you found this useful, and thanks very much for watching. Cheers.